Pace truck is in. Day 2 of the Pocono doubleheader is underway.
12 rear bumper. Bottom's gonna roll. Just keep tempo at the 1. Just you and him keep coming. 12 still with you in line. 12 still in line with you. Just bottom of 2 wide here. You and the 1 should be out front here.
That's Andy Houston, Cole Custer's spotter.
Clear about 4.
3 wide. Matt DiBenedetto coming to the rear bumper of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Here comes Michael McDowell. What about Christopher Bell? What's he going to do? Goes to the rear bumper of his teammate Martin Truex Jr.
2x2 over the tunnel in turn 2. We did see 3 wide there once yesterday, and it took our breath away.
Stenhouse, I think his breath was taken away through the middle of the tunnel turn, losing a spot there to Chris Buescher.
And DiBenedetto takes advantage in the 21.
McDowell really wide.
Yeah, lost several spots.
Truex coming back with a nice push, or maybe his teammate's actually going to take him 4 wide. I keep calling Christopher Bell the teammate, but Toyota driver Christopher Bell almost goes 4 wide with Martin Truex Jr. Both of them able to clear the 47 machine of Stenhouse Jr. Oh, wow,
whoa.
Look at this move. Kevin Harvick saw an opportunity, went for it. Didn't have as much momentum as he thought he was going to have. Going to give the outside to Kyle Busch. Whoa, almost contact there between Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick. Comes Zamarola. Jimmy Johnson also. Big changes to that 48 machine overnight. Trying to improve the performance of that car. And
front straightaway, look at Logano. He is in a rush in that yellow Ford that started out back. Second place. Cole Custer trying to hold off Ryan Blaney. We're told that Tyler Reddick has lost his power steering. He also is in a backup car.
Kevin Harvick able to shuffle McDowell another position back. So he goes to 16th position here. Kurt Busch up front by almost a second right now over Ryan Blaney. This is when you're loving this invert, Mike. You're Kurt Busch. You were struggling in traffic all day yesterday. Man, my car's not driving the way I want it. Now you're out front and it's perfectly handling
Caution
perfectly.
Is out.
Oh man, not rain.
Raindrops at lap 4. And we should be back under green. Brad Keselowski, Kyle Busch step out of line. Here goes Blaney for the lead.
Well, Kurt Busch enjoyed that clean air, but Ryan Blaney wants to take it away from him. Look at Christopher Bell coming all the way up to 3rd position. Oh, he's going to fall back a little bit. Lost some momentum on that inside lane.
Chris Buescher to 3rd, DiBenedetto to 4th. How about Buescher? This is a track where he's won. He's got his Roush Fenway Mustang in 3rd behind Kurt Busch's Camaro and Ryan Blaney's Ford.
Nice clean first lap. Still fanning out down the front straightaway into turn 1. Now you know what kind of grip you have down there.
Austin Dillon against Martin Truex. This is for 7th.
Benedetto
Kyle
going
Busch
to the inside of Chris Buescher. Kyle Busch pushing Brad Keselowski into the tunnel turn. 3 wide. almost contact there with Austin Dillon.
Teammates Harvick and Boyer coming on the inside.
I'm a roll of the big push to Ryan Newman to bump draft Austin Dillon, try to get by Clint Boyer. Jimmy Johnson to the outside of Denny Hamlin. Here comes Kevin Harvick, showing a lot of strength here again today.
Harvick and Matt Kenseth. 11th to Harvick now.
Austin Dillon trying to capitalize on Matt Kenseth losing a little momentum as Harvick went by. Looks like Kyle Busch a little bit further up, a little wide off of turn 3. That's going to open up the door for Kevin Harvick to get to the inside as he fans out. And makes that pass. Talk about these cars being trimmed out. Look how trimmed out Kevin Harvick's car is to be able to make that clean pass down that front straightaway on Kyle Busch.
And of course, Jeff, one of the big ways to get a car trimmed out that you could changes you could make from last night is get that big old 8-inch rear spoiler, get the back of the car down some and get it out of the air.
Well, and I was just looking how far down those skirts and those fenders were over the rear tires of the 4 cars, so we'll keep an eye on that with other cars. Oh, spin.
Michael McDowell had a great run here yesterday. Finished in the 8th spot, and he has used up the left side of that Mustang.
Mike, he had hit the wall at the end of the front stretch about 2 laps ago. I'm not sure he didn't get in trouble then.
Second caution of the day comes at lap 15.
Well, clearly that car went around in a hurry, made heavy impact to the left side, flattened that left side of the 34 car McDowell.
He was running 21st.
Certainly the left rear tire is down. We'll have to see if the right rear tire is down. Well, yeah, that's a right rear tire that went down probably from that impact or that contact that he made. You see the right side already had some damage. Cut that right side tire down. Doesn't take much with these fenders as flared as they are to get in on the tire and cut that tire down.
Right on the restart, we'll listen to the 21.
Roll it. 2 clicks to 95 in here. 41 clicks to 17 to your right. 95 in line. Don't give up your middle. It's going to be 3 middle. 3 middle. 3 middle. 3 middle. 3 middle. Clear. Clear high. Clear high. Inside. Still inside the T.
That was Doug Campbell, spotter for Matt DiBenedetto.
And that's not what Matt DiBenedetto wanted to hear. 3 middle. 3 middle means you're stuck in the middle. 3 wide. Ryan Blaney again trying to go after that lead that Kurt Busch is holding on to. Wow, that was close.
Corey LaJoie and Quinn Houff both busted for speeding on pit road during that caution. Restarting out back.
Here Kevin Harvick playing with the throttle. They're not able to get the throttle all the way down. Ryan Preece, who started at the back because of an engine change coming up through there. Another driver had an engine change right in front of him. William Byron is. Ryan Preece was 3 wide in the middle going into 1. Boy, Matt DiBenedetto losing a lot of spots here as Kevin Harvick now going to the inside of he and Cole Custer. Man, that 4 car is fast right now, Mike.
Yes, he is. Harvick to 5th. Cole Custer surrendering 6th to DiBenedetto, who restarted 4th.
And the opposite of all this is Denny Hamlin, who started alongside Kevin Harvick. He's all the way back in 17th spot.
Hamlin and Boyer for 16th. Watch the yellow number 22 at Joey Logano.
Yeah, running really low.
Oh.
That grass sticks out there before you get to the curbing, Mike, in turn 3. We actually saw in the truck race today where somebody hooked their splitter, the front splitter in that grass, and it turned them straight into the outside wall. Look at that.
Yeah, it's put them 3 wide with Newman and Wallace there.
You can hear that RPM picking up as you use the draft all the way down this very, very long front straightaway. Car increasing speed all the way up to about 193 miles per hour in the draft. Chase Elliott going after his teammate Jimmy Johnson after starting to the rear.
14th place, Denny Hamlin right there with them. Jamie?
Well, Mike, yesterday Denny Hamlin drove it to a second-place finish, but he had a severe vibration at the end of the race, and they weren't sure what it is. I talked to Chris Gabehart. He said they had a left front that was significantly out of balance, but it's still a mystery. But today, no vibration. The car is decent, a little loose, and that's been keeping him back there in the pack.
Thanks, Jamie. 2 rookies in the top 10. Christopher Bell picking up right where he left off yesterday in 4th place, and Cole Custer in 7th. We talked about this rookie crop. There's talent there.
We saw Eric Jones coming up to help his teammate Denny Hamlin get ahead of Chase Elliott. A lot of passing going on here early. That's what you get when you invert the field from yesterday. You know there's some cars that have a lot of speed, that have confidence in those setups, that feel like they can come up through the field, and we're seeing exactly that. Jimmy Johnson on pit road.
Well, as they peel off up front, Christopher Bell has taken 3rd from Chris Buescher. So Kurt Busch continues to lead.
And all that clean air that these leaders are enjoying right now, Mike, they're not going to be enjoying it once this stage is over.
No. Busch and Blaney coming up on Jimmy Johnson, who's coming out of the pits.
And Blaney's going to try to use that as a pick to get to the inside. Not quite able to get to the quarter panel of Kurt Busch to make that pass. But Jimmy Johnson going to go a lap down here. Right now in the free pass position, I believe.
Whoa, little slide by Blaney, and here comes Johnson back at him.
He has to fight to get back on the lead lap, because if he doesn't, that strategy is kind of out the window.
Well, and Timmy Hill was the free passes. They were going, the leaders were going by him. So Jimmy fighting hard to get to Timmy Hill.
And they were 3 wide here. 3 Fords fighting it out. Keselowski, Buescher, and DiBenedetto. That's for 5th place. Final lap, stage 1. Pits are closed. They closed a lap ago.
Man, this has been an action-packed stage 1 here, Pocono.
The shortest of the 3 stages, 30 laps. Joe Gibbs Toyota's battling for 8th right now. Cole Custer is in the final stage point position, 10th.
Jimmy Johnson.
Well, he's in the free pass position, which I don't think it'll help him. That means he will get to come around and get back on the lead lap, but he'll restart at the back.
Yeah, as long as the one of Kurt Busch doesn't get to Clint Boyer, which he's not going to here. But Jimmy doesn't want to even be the free pass if he doesn't have to be. Great job by Kurt Busch winning that first stage, holding off Ryan Blaney, who's charging hard.
First stage win of the season for Kurt Busch over Blaney, Bell, Harvick, and Keselowski, the top 5.
Top 6 will have to pit in about 8 to 10 laps under green.
So here we come to the Geico restart zone to begin stage 2. 55 laps. Here we go.
Denny Hamlin gets a little loose, now 3 wide. Here's another battle up front. Looks like this time Kurt Busch, oh no, he's not going to be able to clear Blaney just yet. Chris Buescher taking a look. Oh yeah, Blaney's got him cleared now through the tunnel turn. And Brad Keselowski, and sorry, that was Martin Truex Jr. making that dive into the tunnel.
So Ryan Blaney becomes the first driver not named Kurt Busch to lead today. Now those 6 drivers that stopped at lap 6, that was the caution for rain. Nobody got tires. So they're still on, I believe, Larry, what they started the race on.
They are, Mike, but again, 8, 9 laps, somewhere in that range, they're going to have to be hitting pit road under green.
7th place, Kyle Busch, Bubba Wallace, William Byron. Whoa.
Wow.
Yikes.
William Byron, big impact to the rear bumper. Bubba Wallace and loses momentum, and here comes Eric Almirola and his teammate Kevin Harvick. Almirola goes up the racetrack, almost makes contact with Bubba Wallace.
Wallace said on the radio midpoint in yesterday's race, we have got to make this car better for Sunday, and it looks like they have. As Brad Keselowski guns for 2nd place into 1.
And a lot of times, Mike, what this is for Kurt Busch, those air pressures and the heat have built up on those tires, and when you go back racing, the car just doesn't quite have the same balance and grip that it had. That's allowed Brad Keselowski to go by as he waves out the window, as well as Ryan Blaney. And now that he's lost that track position and he's getting in a little bit of dirty air, it looks like he's really starting to struggle with that #1 machine, as Mark Truex Jr. and Eric Jones coming up to battle with him.
Yeah, Jones up for 5th after starting in the rear in a backup car because of crashing into the inside retaining wall on the front straightaway yesterday with Tyler Reddick. Now the first driver in this group that is not going to have to pit shortly is Joey Logano. He can run about 10 more laps, and then Kevin Harvick, Bubba Wallace, Almirola, and others.
Mike, we've really looked at this fuel situation. Those guys up front, they actually can go to at least probably a lap 50 plus once we factored in the caution flags, which means Joey Logano can go even further than that.
Whoa, did you see Matt Kenseth? He saw Denny Hamlin move up in front of him, and he wanted to dive to the inside, but now he's in that vulnerable position. Here comes Chase Elliott. See if he can capitalize.
Spinner.
Oh, Christopher Bell.
Oh, he has torn that car up.
Backed it into the wall after having a strong day, strong finish, 4th place finish yesterday. Running great up through the field in 18th position right there. That is not one you're going to fix.
No. Remember the Gremlin, the AMC Gremlin?
Is that what that reminds you of?
If that camera pulls back far enough, that's what it's going to remind you of right there. Yeesh.
Well, the good news about an impact like that, Mike, is the driver doesn't feel it so much because the back end of that car takes all of the absorption of the impact. So that's the good news. The bad news is the race car is junk.
And you know, Mike and Jeff, you would think, okay, this opens an opportunity for those guys up front to hit pit road. I'm not sure they do, because I think that would kill their strategy if they come right now.
All right, let's look for Christopher Bell in the 95. Already around. Yeah.
That's off the exit of the tunnel turn. And you know, there's an apron there where a lot of times if you're trying to make a pass, you can put those left sides on the apron that could rotate the car. He could have just been racing hard with somebody and gotten the air taken off of him, or there may have been contact with another competitor. Hard to say. We don't have a clear view of it.
So here we come once again to the Geico restart zone. Blaney against Truex on the front row.
And let's keep an eye on that traction compound, that outside groove. That's where we've been seeing trouble in these restarts.
And Blaney holds the lead.
Here comes Kevin Harvick to the inside, Joey Logano, but Chase Elliott's going to try to push Joey Logano to the outside. Here comes Kyle Busch. Bubba Wallace doing a nice job up there in the top 5, but he's got some company there with Matt DiBenedetto and Denny Hamlin.
Now these 3 drivers should inherit the lead when the front 3 make their first stop of the day.
Bubba Wallace bump drafted with DiBenedetto, trying to make sure that Denny Hamlin can't get a run.
All right, the 21, the 43, and the 11.
Wow, look how much more speed DiBenedetto was carrying in the corner. Bubba Wallace uses a move that you typically see at Talladega or Daytona by going to the outside.
And it works for him.
After locking bumpers.
DiBenedetto hangs tough.
That was a great move. Let's watch Bubba Wallace coming off of turn 3 last time by. He's to the outside of Matt DiBenedetto in that red and white car. Oh, he just kisses it. Just kisses it a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't knock that fender in on the right rear tire.
No tire smoke evident from the 43. Now DiBenedetto back in a fight for 6th with Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, and Kevin Harvick.
Man, the draft is so strong when those cars line up single file, Mike, down that front straightaway. Joey Logano going to lose 2 or 3 spots possibly here.
Logano in a backup car after shredding a tire yesterday and doing a lot of damage. He finished 36th.
You could just, if you look at the rear tires and that's fenders over the 4 car Kevin Harvick and the same view of the 22 car Logano, that 4 car looks really low on the ground to me, allowing him to cut through the air on these straightaways just a little bit better than his competitors.
So Blaney has not yet pitted. Logano was in the pits at lap 16. Keselowski at lap 40. 3 different strategies for Roger Penske's Fords.
Alex Bowman also went to a backup car, finds himself in 12th position.
Oh, Eric Jones sent it in there against Ricky Stenhouse. And Jimmy Johnson fills the spot on the outside.
Yeah, but then William Byron tries to give a little help to Eric Jones.
This fight is for 14th.
And it's not over yet.
And Ty Dillon joins the fray in 13.
Boy, look how much more speed Jimmy Johnson was carrying because of these 2 cars being side by side. The 20 of Eric Jones, 47 of Stenhouse allowed these other drivers to close up about 8-10 miles per hour faster going into turn 1.
7th place, Kevin Harvick, Chase Elliott, and Joey Logano.
Well, Chase Elliott, yesterday he had a very fast race car, was in the top 5, missed a shift or had an issue with the transmission, go from 3rd to 4th place. They had to replace that after this race, so he started from the back, showing some good speed here, battling with one of the fastest cars out there, Kevin Harvick.
Harvick had a little wiggle getting into turn 3, and you see the result. Elliott pulls away.
Well, and I just wonder if that traction compound, until some heat gets built up in those tires, we're seeing the sun go down. It's not holding as much grip as it had been. Here goes the 18, Kyle Busch, going to 2nd place. Second, third, fourth here, Mark Truex Jr. as Denny Hamlin comes after his teammate for that third spot.
Kyle Busch was lamenting the lack of practice since we returned to racing in this pandemic. We've had no practice. Well, yesterday you could say that Kyle and everybody else got 130 laps of practice for this race today, and it's paid off for him.
Well, and we expected, he said it vocally, so has his crew chief, folks at Toyota. Everybody's talked about how important practice has been to Kyle Busch throughout his career, and we've seen that now since we've come back and not had it. Well, yesterday he got it, and today he's showing the results of having that practice.
Denny Hamlin out in front by 4 seconds over Kevin Harvick. Now, Brennan Poole has just become the free pass car. First car 1 lap down. That was Bubba Wallace.
Well, Bubba Wallace has Joey Logano right on his heels. Both of those drivers trying to be in the free pass position when this stage if the caution were to come out when this stage ends.
But this battle is for naught because
Bubba gets really loose off the tunnel.
Because Denny Hamlin keeps lapping cars. So right now the 15 of Brennan Poole. First car 1 lap down, and the last car in the lead lap, Martin Truex. Here's third place. DiBenedetto and Chase Elliott.
Chase Elliott working that high line. Gets a big run to the rear bumper of Matt DiBenedetto. You can see how Matt really pulls away from him down the straightaway. Just makes you wonder what kind of platform and aerodynamics the 9 of Chase Elliott are running today.
Now, Mike and Jeff.
Kyle Busch. Heavy contact. Wow.
With 9 laps to go in stage 2, Kyle Busch
now that's
piles up his Camry.
That's something you don't see very often. He was in a pretty heated battle with Ryan Blaney.
6th caution flag, lap 76.
Visibly not happy about that one. Nice to see the window net down though on Kyle Busch.
Yes, that's a signal to the safety workers that he's okay, doesn't require assistance. I think what's under the hood is not all that's steaming in car number 18.
Kyle Busch choosing to stay in the car for now.
Well, the whole field will cycle through here.
Yeah, that might be just what it is. He's just waiting for the safety workers to get to him. These cars that are on track to get caught up to the pace car, and then he can hop out because clearly that car's not going anywhere.
So there's the AMR safety crew quickly on the scene. So Kyle is okay. And so virtually we don't know if there was contact. There was a lapped car involved as Kyle Busch was racing Ryan Blaney.
Well, the GPS is what sets this up, and I mean, to me, that thing is usually pretty accurate, that virtual car, as far as from positioning. So pretty good chance that somehow Blaney was able to get to the inside of the 18 and they made contact, but we'll have to hear from Kyle Busch to, you can see there the little damage to that left rear that would indicate that 2 cars came together.
'28 lead lap cars. Here we go.
As they fan out 5 wide, stage points, playoff point on the line here. 4 wide into turn 1. Jimmy Johnson getting pushed wide. So is Matt Kenseth.
Oh, Hamlin, big run off the top side up toward DiBenedetto. Keselowski with the lead. Jimmy Johnson.
Ryan Blaney losing some spots.
10th right now is Hamlin.
Oh, they're stacked up there. DiBenedetto, is that Kurt Busch? I think ahead of him, yes. Kevin Harvick to the inside.
Keselowski, Almirola, Stenhouse out front. Kurt Busch is 8th. And now DiBenedetto, the 21, is in the final point position for this stage. Ryan Newman 3rd, Truex to 4th. Stenhouse 5th now, single file. Kurt Busch 6th. DiBenedetto has a fight on his hands with Hamlin and Chase Elliott. Hamlin right now in 10th. Final lap of stage 2.
Just so easy to find yourself getting out of position in that draft and losing a lot of positions down these straightaways, but not for our leader in this stage 2, Brad Keselowski, out there in clean air.
10th place is going to be a battle. Chase Elliott against Denny Hamlin, and Chase gets it. We go back to green. Keselowski will battle Newman for the lead in 1. Boy, DiBenedetto made a little contact there. Was that Boyer on the outside?
Boyer, yes, it was. And Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott still going at it side by side.
Newman jumps into that slot in 2nd.
And here comes Kurt Busch to the inside.
And Harvick inside him.
So remember, Kurt Busch also on that same strategy as Kevin Harvick. Came in at lap 77 with 4 tires, so good chance that they'll only need to take a splash of fuel. Sorry, that one car actually took 2 tires, so not sure if they are on the same fuel strategy as the 4 car Kevin Harvick.
Right, they took 2 tires and gained 8 or 9 spots on pit road for track position. Larry, among all your tools, do you have a darkness calculator?
Well, I'm actually looking right now just to confirm what time sunset is, because right now it's almost 8 p.m. Eastern. We maybe have 30-35 minutes left of actual sunlight.
The last time a race was shortened on a track with no lights, Kansas 2007.
I think the last race my man sitting over there to your right won probably needed to be called up there at Martinsville.
Those safety lights on the pace car were very bright. That's how I knew how dark it was. Here goes Kevin Harvick trying to get to the inside of Kurt Busch. 4 tires versus 2 tires.
So 49 laps and 1 pit stop to go. The big question, when will it come? And there are several different answers to that question.
Man, look how fast Kevin Harvick is. He positioned that right front fender perfectly to the left rear to pull back and put some side draft and dump that air to the left rear on the Kurt Busch machine. And that pulled Kurt Busch back and allowed Kevin Harvick to go by and make that pass without any help.
21st place.
Now here comes Denny Hamlin for 3rd place on Kurt Busch.
Hamlin the highest Toyota, Kurt Busch the highest Chevrolet in the running order behind the 2 Fords of Keselowski and Harvick.
And sorry, Mike, we're going to see a battle just like we saw yesterday. Kevin Harvick, I know Keselowski's leading right now, but he's going to have to come in and get tires here pretty soon. But we saw Kevin Harvick and Denny Hamlin battling it out on the same strategy yesterday, and I think that's what we're going to see again here today as we see Eric Jones going to 7th place.
Here's a look at your Xfinity fastest lap. This was the last lap, and it was Keselowski's fastest lap of the race. In the lead, clean air, 172 miles an hour.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if Kevin Harvick was making that pass on Kurt Busch. Keep monitoring that, but yeah, clean air, no doubt clean air is going to give you a faster lap time as we see our leader Kevin Keselowski. But I think Kevin Harvick is coming fast.
Harvick's last lap was almost a 10th quicker than Keselowski's, a 52.28 to a 36. The closer. How many times have we seen this movie?
Just amazing how these guys started pretty far back in this field and have been able to pull this same strategy with a fast race car. Give a lot of credit to Kevin Harvick, Rodney Childers, and that teamwork to get themselves in this position.
And we listened in. They're not worried about daylight.
Fisherman that sits up here with me said that we'll have 20 minutes of daylight after sunset, so should be okay. If you can put your 4 fingers under the sun, you got about 45 minutes until it sets, and 20 minutes more, like your fisherman buddy said.
I never knew that. That is such great intel, right?
Well, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we know Mark Truex knows all too well about that, but I'm not so sure Kevin Harvick wants those extra 20 minutes once Brad Keselowski comes down pit road.
Here comes the leader, Kevin Harvick.
And we saw this yesterday as these two caught traffic and started navigating through some of these slower cars. It really allowed second place Hamlin to close up, so we'll see if that plays out here today after this green flag stop. 9 car of Chase Elliott on pit road.
Gets a windshield tear off. And he's going to get 2, and he's away. These right front tire changers, they have had to do some sprinting to get across that car before it peels out of the stall.
Yeah, on that right side tire stop, you have to get in sync with everything, and it's so timed out.
Bowman and Boyer, this is for 4th place.
You know, Mike and Jeff, what I don't like about continuing to wait to make that green flag pit stop, if a caution comes out, you're going to have to pit under caution, and you're going to be behind everybody that's already made their green flag stop.
Good point, Larry. How long can you wait? We've got 36 to go. How long dare you wait?
Well, a little bit of a cat and mouse game. I think Harvick has a little bit of a buffer here on Hamlin, 2.5 seconds up, but can Hamlin maybe leapfrog him, have a great stop, and put the pressure on the 4 team? But it looks like the 4 car now is coming down pit road.
So far, only 4 cars on the lead lap have made that final stop. Here comes Harvick for his. Denny Hamlin will take over the lead from Kevin Harvick as he heads toward Rodney Childers and crew.
And you can see clean air ahead of the 11 of Denny Hamlin. So if this 4 car comes out in traffic, that could hold him up and allow Denny to close in.
Jamie?
This Ford pit crew has been so solid this year. They got it done yesterday. They gained him the spot that counted. He went on to win his first race at Pocono. Right sides only for Kevin Harvick.
Clint Boyer in and out.
I just think Chris Gabehart, he's got to bring Denny Hamlin to pit road. I know you can run a lot further on fuel, but if you don't pit, you're going to get burnt by a caution.
Well, Larry, what do the trends say about caution flags late in the race here?
I looked at the last 8 spring Pocono races, and the final caution, remember, we're running shorter races this weekend, but the final caution falls within about the last 9% of the race. So based on that, in today's race, it should come about lap 128, which will be 12 laps to go.
I really think what they're trying to do here, Larry, yeah, they're hoping the caution doesn't come out, but Denny Hamlin just ran a 52.63 that last time by. That's only 3/10 off of his fastest lap. He's trying to lay down the fastest possible laps he can while this car's in clean air. The balance is good, the car's handling great, and try to make up some time on Kevin Harvick before he comes down pit road.
.21 laps to go.
Here comes Denny Hamlin now. You know when the crew chief starts standing up, some action's about to take place. So
all right, time the stop. That is the key. Does he spend less time on pit road than Kevin Harvick did? They're going for tires, Jamie.
That's right, and Denny Hamlin was getting antsy, wanted to know how much of a lead he had. A right tire stop, that's what they decided earlier. They stuck with the plan, but Denny did not want to get stuck out there with the caution.
Eric Almirola comes in. Martin Truex will be the leader.
Well, I'm not so sure they needed to put those right side tires on, but because of that gap that Hamlin was able to build to Harvick, allowed them to take these right side tires.
And Almirola did fuel only in that 10 car right there.
So Truex is the leader and Harvick just 13 seconds behind him.
So pretty sure that's Denny Hamlin up in the distance. There's a couple lap cars between Kevin Harvick right now, or some cars maybe that haven't pitted yet. And then Denny Hamlin, I believe. Yeah, that's Denny Hamlin coming off 3. You got Logano, Stenhouse, who just haven't come in yet.
Now Stenhouse is on the lead lap. Logano was 1 lap down.
I mean, you can't blame Stenhouse right here for racing Kevin Harvick, but that's definitely building some frustration for Harvick as he's trying to get to Hamlin.
So Harvick takes over 3rd. Martin Truex is your leader with 16 laps to go, and he is coming in. He last pitted at lap 87 along with Stenhouse and Dillon. So Denny Hamlin, should I stay or should I go? Am I going for it or am I in conserve mode?
Should I conserve my tires here? Just face it? No, just go. Don't make a mistake. You know what I mean? But we're good.
That's the best advice I can give my driver. Just don't make a mistake.
He's like, push it, but don't push it too hard.
Right sides for Martin Truex. There were about 4 drivers who stopped there.
Last time by, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick almost matching lap times. This really just comes down to traffic to me, Mike. When Kevin Harvick, Rodney Childers chose to pit, when they came back out, they just hit some traffic that cost Kevin Harvick some valuable time to Denny Hamlin. Of course, give credit to Denny Hamlin, laying down some fast lap times too.
So in the closing laps, we're in a reverse of yesterday's situation at this same point in the race. Hamlin over Harvick instead of Harvick trying to hold off Hamlin.
And you know, Mike and Jeff, we talked about time in the pit box. Both of them changing right side tires, of course, 15 laps apart. Their time in the pit box was almost identical within 1/10 of a second.
So it comes down to what the drivers can do. And the last lap by, Hamlin was almost 2/10 quicker than Harvick as he laps past B.J. McLeod.
Well, this is when Chris Gabehart doesn't want his driver Denny Hamlin to make any mistakes, and he doesn't want any other drivers out there to make any mistakes that might bring out that caution. And you know, then it becomes kind of a poker game or a crapshoot on a restart.
So that lap, Harvick was almost 1/10 quicker. And you see the dynamic interval on our scoring pylon, where it goes down and where it increases.
And this has always been one of those tracks, because we have 3 completely unique corners of turns that you focus on. And I've seen from yesterday to today, Denny Hamlin's car flies through the tunnel turn. Turns really good and rotates through the center, turn 3, getting him good down the front straightaway. Kevin Harvick's car, however, very good turn 1 and very good down those straightaways.
Denny Hamlin is stretching it out, 2.6 seconds over Kevin Harvick, as he goes past J.J. Yaley and draws a bead on Bubba Wallace.
I've been in position to be leading this race with 4 to go, and I can tell you these are the longest 3 or 4 laps of your life. It's such a long way around this racetrack, almost a minute to make a lap.
Well, Jeff, as you said yesterday, for much of the race, including the closing stages, Hamlin appeared to have the fastest car.
Well, if you looked at the lap times through all the averages of that 11 car yesterday in that race, he was the fastest car on track. And he's proven to do the same thing here today.
And despite losing Chris Gabehart, his crew chief, for several races due to a piece of weight ballast falling out as he left pit road to start a race, Hamlin has been in championship form. You see him pass by the 77, and probably the best thing about Davison's race today is we have not called his name. The Australian James Davison having a debut weekend for Spire Motorsports, and running, just got lapped for the 4th time, running 31st. John Hunter Nemechek about to fall off the lead lap. He's had a strong run today.
Yeah, I was going to say, still a solid run. You see Newman get loose down there on the bottom of the racetrack, but yeah, 18th position for John Hunter Nemechek. And another rookie ahead of him, Cole Custer, in the 17th position that Denny Hamlin will be coming up on possibly here in the next lap or 2.
Harvick is getting closer due to traffic. 1.9 is the gap, as you see on our scoring pylon. 1.84. Coming off turn 3, something at the top of the day with lightning and rain I didn't think we'd see. The white flag.
Yeah, Mike, I really thought this race was going to, even when we got going after the rain delay, it was going to be a shorter race than a full-length race. Pretty amazing.
Not counting the road courses, it's the longest last lap in NASCAR. 2.5 miles around the tri-cornered Pocono Raceway.
Boy, Denny Hamlin, what a season he is having, coming off a strong season. Just came up short for that championship last year. Is this the year that maybe he can get that done for the first time? But he loves this racetrack here at Pocono, Mike.
And Denny Hamlin is going to tie Jeff Gordon as the all-time Pocono winner with 6 checkered flags at the Tricky Triangle.
Well, when you start your rookie season in your career,
how much more adversity you want 2 days and still run second and win one, huh? I mean,
how about this 3 wide for 7th place?
Teammates
Byron
and Bowman battling Boyer all the way to the flag. Who's going to get it?
Man, they're going to slam one another to the line.
Wow.
All for 7th place.
Yeah, he's just unbelievable. He's done a great job with this race team and building it. And it's just this is work that happens in the shop. This is way beyond what happens on race day. I can't say enough for FedEx, Toyota, Coca-Cola, the Jordan brand. I mean, 6. I can't even put it into words at how much it means to me.
And you tied Jeff Gordon for the most wins here. But Denny, what is it like for you knowing that Kevin Harvick, who was second, had already pitted? You guys are stretching it out. What is that moment like? I heard you kind of get antsy a little bit.
Yeah, I was excited, just not hoping for no caution. I knew we had the car, and I just kind of maintained my gap right there. Didn't want to make any mistakes like I did at Bristol and gave that a win away. But I just, tried to work through the traffic the best I could, and obviously Cruz is paying attention to the strategy there and made the right call.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.